ภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ Okay, first of all, may I respect to the หลวงพี่วรวุฒิเนาะ and หลวงพี่เควินนะครับก็กราบนมัสการท่านวันเนาะท่านวันหลวงพี่วัน and all นักธรรม student เนาะwho are from different country นะ so wherever you are hopefully you are doing well So last week I wasn't very well, just recover, still my voice, have a little sore throat, but now it's a lot better. So hopefully you are good, and take care, So in Thailand now the weather is uh uh it's very hard to predict, Some is very hot, sometimes rainy, So many people got sick, So like my monk friends, many monk friends also, some they're also not very well. All right, so today we will start the really start our subject. So last week just the introduction, and to see a roadmap what we're going to do for this course in the history of the life of the Buddha. Okay. So let's see how many we have. So, everyone here. Same like a couple weeks ago, right? So let's see how Kevin. Okay, hello, Janice Tan. How are you? How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Long P. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, now. Okay, Satu. Okay, Mechi Saranpat. So where are you now?
In Bangkok.
You're in Bangkok.
I'm in
Are you at the temple right now? What temple are you staying? Mechi Saranpat? Sira.
Ah.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Ah.
So which temple are you staying right now?
No, not at the temple.
Not at the temple. But you're living in Bangkok, right? At this moment?
Yes. Ah.
I see. Okay. And what about you? Why on?
Good afternoon, Long P.
Uh-huh.
I'm good. The weather here also similar in Chiang Mai. It could be very hot in the morning and then raining in the afternoon or vice versa. But other than that, everything is good.
I see. Take care, no?
Take care too, Long Pi.
All right, so we have today one student. Four. Okay, so this is what I would like to share with you. So for if anyone would like to study in more detail about the life of the Buddha beside the book that we're going to use, so I find that this documentary that's from the PBS documentary, by Richard Gere. I think their team have done very well, so I find that this is one of the very well video presenting on the life of the Buddha. They have full video and photo, which is very easy to understand and follow up about how the Buddha journey of becoming the Buddha until he passed away. So I think that this is one of the source that you may consider to be useful for your research or study. So maybe we have some time to take a look at some part of the video, and I find it's very helpful to understand the context and situation in the Buddha time. So maybe I will sometime take some part of the video for our study. So this I highly recommend for you if you would like to learn more in detail beside of the book. All right, so let's go to our today content. So we'll start our chapter 1. So according to the book, we have totally 10 chapters. So today we will start from the chapter 1, the Buddha birth. Okay. So before we start the life of the Buddha, I would like to clarify some important term on the history of the Buddha. So at the very beginning, I think it's good to know about this term. Can anybody give me maybe the definition of the term Bodhisattva? Have you ever heard about this term? And what you understand of this term? This is one of the common use in Buddhist texts and Buddhist study. So anyone have any ideas that you have heard about Bodhisattva before? Okay, so if you have any ideas or information about this term, Bodhisattva, feel free to share with me. Okay.
Bodhisattva who will be Buddha in the future.
The one, sorry, can you repeat again, Mechi?
Who will be Buddha in the future?
Who will be the Buddha in the future? Okay. So that is what we call Bodhisattva, right? Or Bodhisattva. So there's many way to pronounce this term, Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, as Mechi mentioned, thank you very much. So the term Bodhisattva simply mean the Buddha to be, the one who is going to be the self-enlightened, the enlightened Buddha, the enlightened Buddha in the future. So by definition, it could be a person who accumulating, we call the accumulating the virtue, the Buddha quality. So with sometimes we call Parami, or the 10 perfection, Parami 10, the 10 perfection, in order to become the Buddha. So what are the 10 perfection? 10 perfection is a quality of the one who is going to become the Buddha. So namely like a Dana, or giving, or generosity, Sila, morality, and Panya, wisdom, compassion. So totally 10. So the person who have the bodhisattva mind, the one who have found the suffering of beings and have that strong willing or wish to help, remove their suffering. So we call those people as bodhisattva. So back to the life of the Buddha. Our Buddha, these periods of time, the Gautama Buddha, his journey also start from the very ordinary person. So this text mentioned that like our Lord Buddha, so he just one like a ordinary person who also traveling in the cycle of rebirth, in samsara. So like go up and down, it's like a traveling in the samsara. So his bodhisattva journey began. So when he was a poor man, when he was a poor man living with his mom, and by earning by living and selling what he could find in the forest, like take the wood, come to sell to the people in the town. So that is the beginning, how his intention began to be the Buddha. So it's in many times, then how long he accumulate his perfection to be the Buddha. So often mentioned that he accumulates totally the 20 asangaya. So we're going to take a look about this term asangaya kappa. And this is one of the very interesting term in Buddhism. So 20 asangaya is a unit of time, how people count, and how long that's in accumulating the perfection on the journey of the bodhisattva. And 20 asangaya and additional 10 or 100 kappa. So kappa, so we have two terms, kappa and asangaya kappa. So we're going to take a look at this. So this is the time he pursue his perfection in order to be the Buddha. So we call these kind of beings as bodhisattva. So the one who become the bodhisattva have to reborn in many different form of life in order to accumulate that perfection or parami, in order to be become the Buddha. There are also many countless Buddha in the past, before this Gautama Buddha. All the Buddha also have to pursue this kind of perfection or balami in order to be the Buddha. So we call these kind of people as bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, the one who are training or practicing, accumulating good deed, good action in order to become the Buddha in the future. So this Buddha, it is said that he have been traveling and accumulating the 10 perfection for 20 Asangaya Kappa and 100 Kappa. So this is how he has trained himself in order to be the Buddha. And how this intention of becoming the Buddha began. It is said that when he was a poor man living with his mother, and earn a living by selling what he could find in the forest, including firewood to the people in the town. So this here they explain Kappa. Kappa means an earth age. Asangaya is a number, 10 that powered by the 140. So it means one Asangaya is a number that's a 1 and followed by 140 zero. So Asangaya or Kappa. So it's a countless number. So there's no exactly how long this Kappa. So Kappa is it cannot be counted by the numbers that we have. So there's not exactly number what it explained in the Tipitaka, how long of the one Kappa. But it's too long that cannot be counted. So there's only the metaphor and the comparison and how long the Kappa is. So they mention that one Kappa is an earth age. So when the earth is created and the earth is destroyed, so that is called one Kappa. All right, so this is the definition of Kappa. So this is what the Buddha compared how long the Kappa is, because a Kappa it's too long that we cannot put the number in it. And the Buddha compared that's how long the Kappa is. And he mentioned this, suppose there was a huge stone. Suppose that there was a huge stone mountain. A league long, a league wide, and a league high. So equally. So with no crack, there's no hole inside of this stone mountain. And there's no hole. And one soulless mass. There's no hole inside. And at its century pass, it means 100 year pass. The 100 year, there's someone would stroke it with a fine cloth from Giza. Would stroke on the surface of this stone mountain. So some say that is comparing like 100 years. There was a celestial being from heaven came and used that very fine cloth and stroke on the surface of the stone mountain. So by this means, the huge stone mountain would be worn away. That means that and still this stone mountain become flat, and before eon come to an end. That's how long an eon is. So eon is 1 kappa. It's almost infinity, so the term kappa. So it's almost uncountable. That's how long of the kappa is. So some say that 1 kappa mean when the galaxy was destroyed, when the galaxy was reform, destroy, and reform again. So that's considered as the kappa. And so that's how the Buddha compared about the kappa. So when you have a chance to read about the Buddha history in many different lives of the Buddha, since he was his past life when he was born as different form of living beings, So he also mentions many times about how long he accumulated those perfection. So and that is about how his Bodhisattva life journey began. So one day, after he taking care of his mother and looking, he saw while he was raiding at the harbor. So, and he saw and he saw the crew leaving at the ship to go home. They and he saw that those crew have earned a lot of money, and then him just selling wood and firewood from the forest, and then he would like to be he would like to join and with the crew and working inside the ship, and he asked a job from the ship owner, and with the condition that he could bring his mother with him, and to go to the sea. Then the ship agreed. So, and the ship agreed to hire him. So the story continues. Why the ship was sailing in the sea is that it was wrecked by a violent storm. Then the new crew member told his mother to hang on to his shoulder as he hung on to a board and tried to swim ashore. So meanwhile, he saw how his shipmates were disappearing into the water one by one. He felt keenly his own suffering and that of his shipmate. And it became evident to him that all form of suffering experienced by human being and all the living being, it was kind of suffering associated with earning a living, sickness, losing, and loved one. So this is the beginning he discovered about the how suffer of living a life by trying to do so many different job and work for living. And when he saw that this is suffering is come from how difficult the life is. So when he saw his shipmate, so one by one disappearing in singing in the sea, so he felt which of removing suffering from the living beings. So that is the first intention of his Bodhisattva journey. So when he saw those shipmates singing to the sea, he felt inspired to help his fellow beings and all living beings to put an end to suffering, although he has no idea. So even though he don't know how to help them, how to remove their suffering, and remove the suffering that's from struggling to living. But he have that intention to help his fellow. And he was trying to find a way. Nonetheless, a person having such a noble inspiration is called bodhisattva. So this is the idea of bodhisattva. So in the Buddhist teaching, we believe that anyone who have that compassion, so when you see any living beings, even insect, animals, or someone who are in difficult time or suffer, and you have that compassionate mind to help, so that's is a bodhisattva mind. We call bodhicitta. Is a mind that have compassion. And in Buddhist teaching, believe that everyone have this bodhisattva mind. So even the robber, and in some moment, he also have that kindness. So this means that in Buddhist teaching, we believe in the nature of and in the good nature of man, that we all men have that we call good citta, that bodhisattva. But because of the defilements like anger, hatred, and delusion, cover the bodhicitta mind. So a person can be deluded and doing some violence and harmful things. So this is the first inspiration and how Gautama Buddha began his journey of becoming a bodhisattva. So after 20 Asangaya and 100 Kappa passed, he did achieve enlightenment in his last rebirth, becoming a Siddhartha, becoming the prince, and seeking for the truth of life. And finally, he became self-enlightened Buddha. So this is the story. Most of the time, people don't really talk about how his life of becoming a Buddha began. So I find it is very interesting to understand that how a person could have that attention to help other living beings. And for a total, and it's continued to say that for a total of 7 Asangaya Kappa, in which he has undergone countless rebirths. So he also living life like other living being, so doing accumulating, pursuing the virtue to achieve enlightenment, and with that intention to help his living beings and his fellow. And he tried his own through trying and error, So without knowing that's what is the right way, how could he will be able to help the being? But he kept trying. Accumulated merit under 125 Buddha. So that means that this Buddha, he have seen many different Buddha, so 125 Buddhas. So it means that it's not easy, So a person who will be the Buddha have to meet the Buddha. So this Buddha, he met the Buddha for 125 Buddha before he felt bold and courage enough to tell everyone, every Buddha he met afterwards about his aspiration to become a Buddha sometime in the future. So And he had to be confident and have that courageous, to tell every Buddha. So that's we call Satya Parami, So at the first period of his pursuing of the Parami, he didn't really spoke out, So just like keep in mind and have that intention, So when he felt bold, then he also declare, now what his intention and his aspiration to be the Buddha in the future. And he once predict by many different Buddha that he surely will be the Buddha in the future, named Gautama Buddha. So that is the first seven Asangayakapa, and additional nine additional Asangayakapa. So he also pursue the 10 Balami, 10 Balami, the 10 perfection to the fullest extent, to have that perfection, to become the Buddha. So here said that it means that if he wished to be emancipate from the round of rebirth by practicing according to the teaching of any Buddha he will be able to attain arahantship and Nibbana instantly. So at this point, if he would like to achieve enlightenment, attain Nibbana, so he would be able to do it right away. So that is after 9 additional Asangayakapa. Just the first he have that aspiration for 7 Asangayakapa. So that's he spends the 9 additional Asangayakapa to have that 10 perfection. So at this point, he are qualified to achieve enlightenment or attain to the arahantship. And 7 is 16. So totally now he pursuing that good deed and merit for 16 Asangayakapa. But he didn't attain that arahantship, So with his compassion, he would like to help other living being who trapped inside the realm of samsara. So he decide to not to attain arahantship and continue to pursue more parami. So he spends four more Asangayakapa and additional 100,000 kappa. So in order to learn how to teach the being, so this is he sacrificed, extend his pursuing of the parami for like a four more Asangaya kappa and additional 100 kappa before he could teach. And that he will be able to teach and guide the living being to attain and the Nibbana along with him, instead of just attain arahantship himself. And so it's not necessary for him, to continue pursuing more parami in order to attain enlightenment. Actually, after he had pursued that parami, he could attain that arahantship. So here what is explained about the Gaba. A Gaba, or an earth age, cover the time it takes for the galaxy to be destroyed reform and destroyed again. So this is the concept of Kappa. Kappa is a Earth age. So when the galaxy is destroyed, reform, and destroyed again. So we just approximate number and the approximate periods of time and how long a kappa is. But Buddha mentioned is very long, comparing like what's mentioned, that's a stone, a mountain stone that's tall, that's 16 kilometers wide, a ring, in 100 years, the celestial being flying from the heaven and stroke on the surface of the stone mountain, and still that stone mountain completely gone. So that is the one kappa. And finally, before his final rebirth, the last life of the Buddha, so he has been a male celestial being, and in the heaven realm named Dusita. And his name was Sanda Dusit, Sanda Dusita. Sanda Dusita Tevaput. He was a celestial being living in the Dusita. The Dusita is the realm, is a heaven realm, celestial realm. That's most of the bodhisattva reborn for their last, before their last life. And it said that all the celestial being came to ask him to shed to be from the Dusita realm in order to be reborn on earth into a loyal family. A bodhisattva who has pursued perfection to the fullest extent can choose to be reborn into any family regarded as noblest at the time. So the Buddha will be reborn only into to class system. So some Buddha reborn in the loyal family, some Buddha reborn, some Bodhisattva reborn in the Brahmin family. So it's a high rank of family. So that is the nature of the Buddhas. All Buddha, or the Bodhisattva who will be the Buddha could reborn only in these two cases. Okay, so before we moving on to another part, of the life of the Prince Siddhartha. So how he came shed from the Dusita heaven and come down to reborn with his mother. So anyone have any question or any point that you would like to share or would like to add more from here? Okay, so if you don't have question yet, let us move on to another part of the life of the Bodhisattva. So after he have accumulated that strength perfection perfectly and reborn as the male celestial being in Dusita, now is a perfect time for him to came down from Dusita and becoming the self-enlightened Buddha. So pretty much time about the history of the life of the Buddha. So there's many different stories told in different version. So whatever version you have heard, you have learned. So I think that all the story mentioned the same case. That's the queen, Queen Mahamaya. So she dreamed, and the night that when Bodhisattva came from the Dusita to reborn with her, she dreamt about a white elephant. So that night, the white elephant, she saw that this white elephant brought her to the celestial forest named Himawanda. So it's kind of a mythological land. It's like wonderland in Buddhism, Himawanda, where there are many strange animals there. And she found herself that this white elephant brought her to this celestial forest. And this white elephant came down from the mountain top, and then it held out its trunk and carried a white lotus, a white lotus, and walked around her 3 times. Somebody walked around her 3 times and then entered inside her womb. And the next morning, so she told this story to the king, the king Suddhodana. So the king who ruled the country of the Sakaya clan is a Kapilavatthu kingdom. And the cursed astrologer predicted that the queen would give birth to a great son. King Suddhodana was overjoyed and made sure that the queen was well attended to. So after Bodhisattva sat in a half lotus position, just what is mentioned. So that while he was in his mother womb, he always have sat in a half lotus position all the time, and he did not lay in the fetus position like a normal fetus, or he trains biologically matter. So just like look clean, and miraculously, so the mother could see him clearly. And at the time of rebirth, so it was an Indian culture that the mother had to return to her hometown or her birthplace to have her baby. So it means that if you was born in Singapore, for example, and you live in Thailand, if you got pregnant, so if the lady got pregnant, she has to go back to her hometown in Singapore, for example. So that is the custom and Indian culture that practiced at that time. The Queen Mahamaya has to go back to her hometown in order to follow this tradition. So the queen then asked the king, King Suddhodana, that, so I was about to give birth to the baby. So I will ask you permission to go back to my hometown in order to give birth. Then the king gave her the permission and managed the procession and guard to protect, to guard her along the way going back to her hometown, which is another clan. So the clan that she came from called Goliath clan, which is the it's close to the Sakaya clan. So when they arrive at a place called Rumpini, is a forest. So it's called the Rumpini forest. So as we know that Lumbini today belong to Nepal at the present time. So this place is considered as the birthplace of the Lord Buddha. So there at that time it's a forest. It's along the way when Queen Sri Mahamaya she traveling back to her hometown. So at that place she felt a birth pang, so she thought, she was about to give birth. And then when the time came, she stood whole on a sala branch, a sala tree, as a sala branch while giving birth to her son. And that is how the Bodhisattva was born. And during birth, the Bodhisattva body was completely clean. So this is what is told. And more of the story told that the queen just could easily give birth to the baby, So she didn't feel painful at all. Just easily give birth to the Bodhisattva. And they said that the Bodhisattva body completely clean and devoid of any fluids. And he was first received in the air by celestial being. So the celestial being, the Deva, came down and received him in the air. And none of the moisture, condensation of moisture in the air produce hot and cold water, which mix together to give warm water, and fell down to bath the infants, Bodhisattva. So this is kind of miraculous because story that's told. So this kind of celestial being come to help clean the infants, Bodhisattva. And he took 7 steps on his own, and each step was cushioned by lotus flower. So from the first step to the 7th step, it said that there are 7 lotus spring up to cushion, to place his feet. That's lotus came up on 7 step, his first 7 step. So having taken 7 steps, he stood still and boldly proclaimed. So this is what he first said. And he said that Ago ha masami lokasa, which means I am the foremost person on earth. I am the foremost, I am most sublime person on earth. And he continued to say, this is my last life. This is no more future life. There's an additional, like we call boldly proclaim. So this kind of miraculous thing. So there was many and argument for the modern study. And how could a person speak, right away after being born? Because most of the baby, when the baby was born, they all cried, and it's impossible to walk at that 7th step and to be able to speak, But in case of many argue that this is the great man, the person who are abnormal, who have something special and becoming the Buddha, it's kind of normal for that Bodhisattva to have these special and miraculous thing happen. And it was then near noon time on Friday, the full moon day of 6th month. So it's a day of the Visakha, Visakha day. In the years of dog, 80 years before the Buddha era. So that is the beginning of the journey of the Bodhisattva of his last life. So then it's said these miraculous events are not uncommon. So this is what it explained to that special event that happened during he was born. So uncommon for a bodhisattva. So who has pursued perfection to the fullest extent, he is capable of extraordinary things, such as the ability to walk right after birth. The celestial being who have kept watch over him, make sure that warm water appeared out of the air, so that he can be bathed. Even an ordinary person who regularly accumulate merit is likely to meet with surprising and amazing event. And upon investigating them by employing the supernatural power resulting from meditative attainment, one finds that the person who regularly accumulates merits is protected and held by a particular type of celestial being. This celestial being belongs to the celestial realm and can scarcely accumulate merit as such. But when they watch over merit-minded person, they can earn merit by rejoining and the person merit accumulation. So that is another explanation why there's this kind of special celestial being came to help, So that is the Buddhist teaching, So celestial being, they cannot do make merit by themselves, not like human, So this celestial being would like to have more merits, but they cannot do themselves. But by helping this, the one who have merit-minded, so they will be able to have that merit by rejoining their good deed, good action. So similar in Buddhist belief, we believe that's in the realm of the hungry ghosts. So every time when people have done good deed, good action, or make an offering, like in the northern part of Thailand, so people, when they're receiving the blessing, they will pour the water. They will pour the water to earth to be the witness, and allow, we call whatever the hungry ghosts, who are waiting to receive the merit, So when they heard that someone doing good, and right after the rejoin, that's good deed, good action. We call mudita citta. Mudita means when you rejoin the good deed, good action to someone, So you also will be able to gain that merits. So that is one of the quality of the one, why this celestial being came to help and protect, clean the infants, the Bodhisattva infants. It's come to be these kind of Buddhist belief. Okay, our Bodhisattva body was perfect, and possessed the 32 physical feature of the perfect man. So, and this character, the 32 character of the perfect man, this is what's mentioned before the Bodhisattva was born. So there's many great teachers and many spiritual leader, spiritual seeker at that time agree that the perfect man might have these 32 features.
And the prince and the newborn, the Bodhisattva baby, yeah, he has found that he has that 32 mark of the great man. Yeah? Or we can say another term is a mark of the Superman. Yeah? So which is he has a special characteristic. It's only the Buddha and the Bodhisattva that have this character. Yeah? So instead of one Brahmanism text give detail on how to predict the person future based on his physical attributes. According to this text, a person who possessing the 32 physical feature of the perfect man will grow up to become a universal monad. Yeah? So that is what is mentioned in the Brahmin text, that who have this characteristic, the 32 of the perfect man, will surely he will be the universal monad and having the sovereignty over a huge territory bordered by the full ocean. And if he remains a household, if he remain a household, but if he take up the religious life and become a spiritual leader, so he will attain self-enlightenment and become the Lord Buddha. So that means he who have these 32 characteristics, there is only two possibilities for his future life. Becoming the great king or universal monarch, or becoming the self-enlightened Buddha. So that is what's already mentioned in the Brahmanism and the Bodhisattva, the prince have this 32 mark of the Bodhisattva. So if you would like to know more about and what are the 32 mark of the perfect man, you can take a look more in detail. So it's kind of special characteristic of the Buddha. That's how architecture today use and trying to apply with their creating the Buddha statue based on these 32 characteristics. For example, it is I remember that the Buddha eyes look like the eyes of a baby cow, and it said that his hand has the marks like a have that Dhammacakka mark on his hand, So this kind of special feature that's only the great man that's own. Okay, so this is about the noble voice that when he was born, and he made his step for 7 steps, and he made that boldly proclaim and said, "I'm a chief of the world. Eldest I am the world. Foremost am I in the world. This is the last birth. There's now no more coming to be." So this is the boldly proclaim that he will be reborn as his final birth and becoming the Buddha, the greatest self-enlightened. So after he was born, there was a seer named Asita Dabat, Asita Dabasa, or Asita Dabat, came to visit the newborn baby. So the king Suddhodana showed his newborn son to the seer, and when Asita saw the characteristic of the the baby, he knew immediately that this newborn baby have something special. So Asita, he was very respected by the king Suddhodana, and he achieved many good quality in meditative training. So it is said that he was able to predict about the future life of a person, and that kind of special supernormal ability are in a person who practices meditation could know that what going to happen to like the baby. So when he saw the baby, so what his reaction to the baby is first he felt he knew that this baby is going to be the Buddha, the enlightened Buddha. So he showed his respect to the baby by bowing, so put his head on the feet of the baby to show respect. So at that time, King Suddhodana, so surprisingly seeing like his most respected a spiritual leader bowing to his son, so he also followed by bowing to the baby, his own son, for the first time. So even the king also followed the seer. But later on, the Asita cry, so he cried. So the reason that he cried, because he knew that he will not live long to be able to listen to the teaching of the Buddha. So he knew that he will die before his enlightened. So he was sad that he will miss that opportunity, not being able to listen to the teaching. So that is why he was sad, the Asita. So by this incident, so seeing that incident, all the other loyal family also believe in the prince and also offer their son and their one prince to be the prince follower. Okay, 5 days after birth. So that is what happened after 3 days. So after 3 days, they are a seer named Asita came to visit the baby. So 5 days is a day. It's a giving the name. So five days after Prince birth, the king Suddhodana gathered the loyal relative and his officer to invite 108 Brahmana. Brahmana is the wise man or the teacher to have food, offer food and predict the look, to predict the look or the personality of the baby. They predict that similar exactly like what Asita predict before like 2 days ago. They predicted that Prince Siddhartha would be on two ways. If he was a layman, he would be an emperor ruling the land of four oceans and borderland. But if he became a monk, he would be enlightened, becoming the Buddha. So the first class of the great master in the world, then he was named as Siddhartha. So Siddhartha, which means which fulfill, or one who has accomplished his goal, or one who had achieved his aim. But most people call him Gautama, or Gautama according to his family name. So this also happened when all the 108 monks, so there's only eight brahmanas that's chosen to predict the future and the personality of the baby. So there's the first seven brahmana that predict that he would be there are going to be two possibility for his future life, becoming a king or becoming the Buddha. But there's only one brahmana, so he guarantees and predicts the look of the prince differently. So does anybody know who is he and what is the name of this brahmana? So he's the youngest. He's the younger brahmana. And what did he did? What did he said?
Gontanya.
Gotanya, right? And so I haven't put the name here. Actually, among of these eight brahmana, there's the youngest. The youngest brahmana that's who the group, who the group of the among the brahma, that he considered as an expert brahmana. So his name Godanya. Godanya, he's a young brahmana, young Brahmin. So he predicted that there's only one way for the prince future life. So if he decide in the future, he would be only the Buddha, nothing else. So that is his confidence that he trusts that the prince will be the Buddha for sure in the future. There's only one brahmana who guarantee that there's only one way. Okay, so after 7 days after birth. So 7 days after prince birth, his mother was dead. So and this is the destiny of the Buddha mother. It is that all the Buddha mother have to die after 7 days of giving birth. So anyone can share with me why the mother had to death after 7 days? Anyone have heard about a myth or story that why the Buddha mother had to die after 7 days? Is there any reason behind of this case that you have heard? Pajapati. So pretty much time, the mother of the Buddha So always consider that as a pure womb, only for the pure soul, or only for the purest one. So after she gave birth to the purest one, so she her duty, her duty is done. So that's why it's a common thing that the mother of the Buddha would die after 7 days. But after she died, she also was born in the heaven. And later on, after the prince's mother passed away, so the king Suddhodana aside, the younger sister of the queen Maya, named Pajapati Gautami. Name Pajapati. Sorry. Okay. Name Pajapati Gautami, the younger sister of Queen Maya. So to look after, take care the prince. And later on, she had the prince named Nanda Kumara, and princess named Lupananda, which is her a real son and daughter. But it said that she loved Prince Siddhartha more than her own son and her own daughter, and she lets the other to take care of her son instead of her. So she Pajapati Gautami, so mainly taking care of Prince Siddhartha. So Prince Siddhartha's childhood. So he grew up day by day. So when he was very young, especially King Suddhodana, so he has the intention that he would train his son to be a good warrior, to be the king in the future. So he did whatever he could, make the prince Siddhartha to live his life happily in the palace. So trying to prevent him from the unpleasant thing, and build wars and let him spend his life, enjoy his life living in the palace. And he also were trained and educated to be the good warrior in the future. Many great teachers, many great wise men were invited to train him in the palace. So this is another important situation, what happened when he was young. So actually the prince himself, he learned and have a focusing mind and have that meditation since he was very young. At the age of 7, he went with his father at the farm. There was a ceremony or like farming. It's Indian custom that they have been follow. So so at that place, Prince Siddhartha looked around him, but he wasn't entertain. That's what people are doing at the ceremony. He saw a cow was threat very hard and very cruelty with the cruelty, and he only saw what was hard for the farmers and for the buffalo. Then and then he looked up into the sky, into the air, and saw then how hawk and had to catch a small bird for its food, and how small bird had to catch insect for their food. And he looked into the water and saw how big fish was catching a small fish. He saw that the world was filled with cruelty, where killing and violence were happening all the time. So seeing this phenomena, allow him to think deeply about the nature of living beings, how difficult they have to earn looking for food for a living. So with this deep consideration, allow him to attain the first state of the meditation. So the prince attain that state of meditation and cause the sun ray to bend in such a way that even though it was already afternoon. But the shadow of the tree, the name of the tree called Java Plum, called Java Plum, just remained the same position. The shadow doesn't the shadows of the tree doesn't move along with the sun ray. But even the Java palm tree continue even provide the prince with the cold shade to not let the prince get burned by the sun ray. So at that time, his nursemaid had by now just returned to the prince, and they were amazed to see the prince was sitting still, and the shadow of the Java plum and the Java plum tree just remained the same position. And then they reported that incident, and that's miraculous to the king. So in all, the king paid homage to his son for the second time. So that's a miraculous incident, a situation. So made the king to pay homage to the prince for the second time. Okay, so this is about another story, the conflict among between Prince Siddhartha and Prince Tewadatta. So at that time, Prince Siddhartha was he was a gentle child by nature. He was loving and kind to every living being. So one day, he walked outside of the and he was taking to the royal park. So he found a bird shot by an arrow. So he took the bird back to the palace to heal it, to cure the bird. And then he would like to release the birds, but his cousin, so named Tewadatta, came to the bird and claimed that the birds belonged to him because he had shot at the bird. So the case was brought to the minister, and they declare that the Prince Siddhartha the winner of the case, based on the rule that life belongs to the person who gave it and not to the person who destroyed it. So at the court said that the Prince Siddhartha claimed to the court that birds should not belong to the one who trying to destroy its life, but the birds that belong to the one who helping, who trying to help the bird. So by this case, the Prince Siddhartha become the winner. So that is the Prince Siddhartha, his kindness since he was very young. All right, so Prince Siddhartha lived his life very happily in the palace, So King Suddhodana trying to serve him whatever that could make him be happy and enjoy living his life in the palace. So his father built the three Bokhalani ponds. So let him enjoy. Build ponds, and it said that he even built a three-season castle to let him live happily in the palace. So different season, he would live in different castle, in different palace. So rainy seasons, one castle, and hot season he would live in a different castle. So very, very happy. So some story said that when it was, so Buddha said, when I was in the palace, so I surrounded by many beautiful women. So I have three lotus ponds. So music and dancing, music and instrument of play all days and night. So at the royal residence, so plan is a plan by Bokhap. That is the name of the lotus. So Bokhap lotus, and the second type of the lotus is Bo Luang. The Bo Luang lotus, and another kind of the lotus is called Bandalika lotus. So different ponds that were dark, and just have a different beautiful lotus inside. So let him play and enjoy living in the palace. Okay, so about this, his education. So I mentioned before that he were studying with many different teachers, and the greatest teacher at that time. So he studied with a greatest teacher named Visawamitra. At that time, heard that is very well known and very great teacher. So the prince is clever and smart by nature, so he could learn things quickly. So heard that he could learn all the subject. So some said that all the subject only in 7 days. So and still no teacher no longer have any knowledge to teach him animal. Okay, day by day when he grew up, so when he grew up at the age of 16, and he got married with one of the most beautiful princess from another kingdom, and named Yasodhara. So Yasodhara, she from the Goliath clan, and have got married with the Prince Siddhartha at the age of 16. That's even made it like close to the perfect life. So it said that is the extreme worldly happiness that a person could have in life. So married at 16 years old, when Prince Siddhartha grew up to 16 years old of age and suitable to be married, his father gave the order to build 3 palaces, the 3 castle, 3 palace for the prince to live in 3 seasons, cold season, hot season, and rainy season, and then proposed the princess Yasodhara, or another name, Bimba, Bimba or Yasodhara, the daughter of King Subhabuddha, Subhabuddha of Devadatta city, whose birth given by Queen Amita, his sister, to marry to Prince Siddhartha. So now he lives his life like a perfect life that a person could have. That everyone is a kind of what everyone would like to have in this life. Prince Siddhartha have all of that thing. So, and that we will be continue and explore more on his life for the following week. So today I think just now it's time for our this week chapter in chapter 10. So in chapter 10 there's a little more. Now we're going to know we're going to continue next week for these parts. All right, so I have maybe some exercise, some 2 questions for this week. So this is going to be the first exercise, first homework for our subject. So it's only 2 questions. So just answer what you understand and what you have learned so far from this chapter. Okay, so before we finish, anyone have any question? All right, so let me share with you the link. So please finish this exercise before next class. For those who have enjoyed today class, please go and take a look at these exercise. So this will be called your assignment for maybe around 10% of your score. All right, so okay, now just go to the link. I will share the link again in our line group. Okay, so go and answer the question. There are only for 2 questions for this week. Okay, so next week we will be continue the maybe if we could finish the chapter 1, we'll continue to chapter 2 for the next week. Okay. All right, so see you next time. Okay, let us now pay homage to the trip project.
อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภควาพุทธังภควันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภควตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภควโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามิ
ครับ thank you so much ครับอาจารย์
you
ค
so
ณะนมั
much
สการครับ
Thank you หลวงพี่
See you until next time everyone
yes